Hi, this is Paul from QuickandMobile.com, and we are here with the 2025 Eagle. It is August and we are giving some updates. In case you're interested in learning more information about the Eagle, you can visit QuickandMobile.com, and there is an abundance of information about the Eagle HD Power Folding Wheelchair. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Eagle. It very easily unfolds, and of course we can see that the chair right now is in freewheel mode, so I can use it as a push chair very easily and with the assistance of just two little levers. The chair is not pushable, but I can turn the joystick on and make this into an electronic chair. So there are a few different updates to look at with this Eagle, and there are two parts to this video. First part, we're inside. Second part, we go outside and we show you what the Eagle can do in terrain, slopes, declines, grass, and different areas. So let's take a look at a couple different things here. We'll get the charger, we'll put that there. I do definitely want to show you how to do the batteries because the batteries were updated. And of course, the chair comes with a user manual and a seat belt and a few tools, okay? So the seat belt is an adjustable seat belt that you can put basically anywhere on the chair, which is very nice not to have the seat belt physically attached to the chair in case you don't want to use it at all, it's not in the way, or in case you wanted to put it in a non-traditional area. Now the Eagle is probably the most iconic HD chair. It has been around since, I would say, mid-2017. It's 18.5 inches of space in between the armrests, and with an optional spacer kit, you can make that into 22 inches. The cushion itself is about 18.5 inches wide, and if we're going to look at depth, it's about 16.5 inches of depth. If we're going to look at the back cushion here, that is about 17 inches or about 20 inches all the way to the top. And you can actually lift this up a little bit. We have an electrode that I will demonstrate what's underneath the seat in the Eagle as well. And if we take a look here, the angle from the front of the cushion to the actual footrest, we're looking at about 17.5 inches. And we are looking at about 19.5 inches off of the ground, and the frame is of course about 17 inches off the ground. The actual width of the footrest is about 12.5 inches. In the front of the footrest, you are looking at about 7 inches. Now we have comprehensive measurements on our website on QuickandMobile.com. So if you are on our official YouTube channel, you will be able to have a hyperlink in the description to go to QuickandMobile.com, the actual product page that deals with the Eagle. So let's just go ahead and point out a couple things. I'm going to start with a few things that are new. The first thing that's going to jump out at me almost immediately, I always marvel at how well these chairs are crafted. The welding, the cleanliness of the build, it's very nice, and these chairs are very sturdy chairs. Now let's take a look here. We have what would be considered the new fork design. You have a DuraShock that's in the actual front of the chair. You have the front wheels of the Eagle are kind of flattened out a little bit for enhanced traction. And of course that goes in all different directions. This chair does have the ability to be accessorized with a leg extension kit that actually just slides right in there, and a headrest, and of course I mentioned the armrest spacer kit. So on the product page on QuickandMobile.com, you can see a picture of this with the leg extension kit that swings off to the side, the headrest, and the armrest spacer kit. Now take a look here. They've made this quick release button a lot easier for the batteries. Just press and release, so it's a big button instead of a notch. And the batteries are the coveted in-frame battery design. So all of the information about each battery is listed directly on the battery. No more documentation to carry through the airport, and they are FAA travel approved. This chair is an FDA travel approved wheelchair. That's a very, very nice feature. Now each battery has a charging port, and it will give you the ability to plug the charger outside of the chair directly into the battery. So the batteries can be charged off board. Each battery has an indicator that tells you how full the battery is, and of course when you're done, you just close the flap. Now this chair does come with a total of 2 batteries. One battery from the factory, and then because we do everything we possibly can to set people up for success, a total of 2 batteries. So one on each side. Now, this chair is probably going to get average about, I'm going to say 18 miles-ish of range. Why do I say 18 miles-ish of range? Well, there's a lot of different factors that can control and dictate really how far a battery goes. Extreme cold, extreme warm. Those are both factors that can decrease a battery's utility, a battery's usefulness, a battery's range. The user's weight. Now the chair with both batteries, it weighs just 58 pounds. With no batteries, it weighs just 50 pounds. I weigh about 210 pounds. The chair holds up to approximately 400 pounds. So if somebody who was 120 pounds, for example, was using this chair, they're probably going to get more range than I would, and I would get more range than somebody that would be at the 400-pound weight limit. So there's a lot of different factors. And of course, are you going uphill? Are you going downhill? The chair will not run away from you if you're going downhill because it has two powerful 250-watt brushless electromagnetic motors. And you can see that those are basically right there on the wheels. When we take this chair out a little bit later on in this video and drive it down slopes across grass, you're going to see how well it handles with the posi traction. And of course, I have some unique things to tell you about the programming of the actual motors a little bit later on. The chair does have 2 DuraShocks in the back as well, which is very nice because you have a total of 4 DuraShocks designed to give you a comfort enhanced ride. And of course, this is very simple to fold. Just kind of clicks right into place. So we'll go for just kind of a few more features of this chair. I want to show you how the joystick itself looks and how the joystick itself functions. So I will get into the chair for a moment here, and you can see the footrest folds up basically flush with the chair to allow me to enter from the front very easily, very simply. I'm putting my hands on the front of the armrests and I'm balancing my body's entire weight on the chair. So the chair is durable, and if I want to mount from the side, I just slide this little notch into the up position. Down is locked, up is unlocked, and I can lift these both so I can enjoy my time at the dinner table if I want to go to a restaurant, use this chair for dining without getting up and getting into a different chair. Very comfortable, very convenient in that regard. The seat itself, the cushion, is made from breathable memory foam fabric. And of course, I did promise that we were going to look at the joystick. So I'm going to turn the digital joystick on. And you can see that the joystick powers on. I have the battery indicator, and then there are 5 different gears. The gears are the speeds. I'm in gear 1, so that's the slow speed. And whoa, look at that. We have something brand new. It is now a remote control chair. So I have an optional remote controller, which is really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that remote control on. It's going to beep a little bit, and you're going to see that the Bluetooth icon just came on, and you see that there's a little green lock. You might be wondering what that little green lock is, and that's actually exceptionally important. That is a security feature. So the joystick right now just will not work. Why? Because it's locked. So I could turn the chair off, somebody could steal the chair. It's not going to work until you have the unlock button. See that? Unlocked it right on the remote control, and it goes in any direction. If I go back, the chair does not have a backup beeper. People really like that feature. This works from about up to 50 feet away from the chair, and to basically turn the remote controller off, you just press the joystick button, the joystick powers off, and it's just a matter of time before that green button powers off on the remote control. Now, adversely, if I want to use the power button on the remote control, I press that, it's going to flash green a little bit, and look what just happened. It actually turned the joystick on. And then on the very front button here, I can control the gears, so I can go up to speed number 3. So 1, 2, or 3 with the remote controller. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. We'll put this remote controller away just for now, so we'll get it out of the way. And we'll put the remote control where it was before, in the underseat basket. This is a weather-resistant underseat basket. It's removable, very convenient to have items that you can store in the basket. And a few more things that we'll just point out before we go outside and before we take a drive is that we have the flat free tires in the back and the front. These are 12-inch rear tires. They're made from a very high quality polyurethane, so they're designed not to wear out quickly, and you will not have to worry about getting a flat. That's a wonderful feature. The reflective material has been upgraded and updated so it reflects more light, which is quite nice for nighttime driving or low light situations. And of course, you do get a whole series of complimentary accessories with this chair. So other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at one of the comfort features of the chair. So we'll put this aside. I'm going to bring the Electra 7 out. The Electra 7 is a carbon copy of the Eagle, absolutely 100% identical. The only difference is it has a bigger seat cushion. We have a special video that we're going to do about that next. And we have more space in between the armrests. Now, what else do we have? Same thing as underneath the Eagle. Exactly the same thing. So you can see the seating harness here gives me the ability to adjust the level of firmness that the cushion sits on, which that's a really nice feature, and not every chair has that. I also have this flap that allows me to adjust what level of back support do I want to have, or if I want back support literally at all. I can just fold this underneath the chair and put it away. Most people like back support. I like a bit of back support, so I kind of keep that usually at about the second one, but it is your chair, your choice. Okay, so let's take a look at the back. And we have the same situation in the back of the chair where you have the ability to adjust the firmness here with these straps. Very simple, very easy to use. So we'll go ahead and get this chair out of the way. I think that I've gone over just about all of the updates for this wonderful 2025 Eagle. Well, actually, there's one thing that I did fail to mention, and this is actually a pretty important thing that I'm going to show you as I tell you. So, getting in the chair, you take a look at the joystick, and everybody has a different forearm length. Everybody's body is built differently, and even though the foldable electronic wheelchairs have historically not been that customizable, kind of a one-size-fits-all, over the years there have been more accessibility and adjustability features that have made these chairs a lot more pleasant to use, including the ability to adjust where the joystick sits. So I can move this to a situation that's a lot more comfortable for me, rather than have a situation that's going to personally apply more pressure on my wrist, because my wrist would have to arc up if I'm using my fingers to drive the joystick, which I personally like to do, instead of palming it or gripping it this way. So just to avoid that simple wrist discomfort, look how simple that is. Small but substantial when you're coming with design. Now, from the factory, the joystick is mounted on the right-hand side of the chair. It can be moved to the left-hand side of the chair, or the joystick can be completely removed. Very simple. You just see two kind of nodules here and basically two arrows, and there's a little key right there to make certain, little nodule and a little key right there, to make certain that the joystick is put together in a way that is going to be easy to use and easy to manage. And I think that's about it for the updates. Now, just one quick thing that I'm going to mention before we kind of move outside and before we take this chair into the hot Florida August weather and see what it can do is there's really only two places that you should be watching this particular video. It's on quickandmobile.com, and you can look at your web browser on the phone. It has to say quickandmobile.com at the top, or on our official YouTube channel. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of people stealing our pictures, stealing our content, and unfortunately, a lot of the people that do resort to theft of pictures and content, like these videos, are using these to promote chairs that we have nothing to do with, or using them just as a scam. A great example would be if you ever see an Eagle for $88, you're 100% getting scammed. These chairs, I'll put it this way, if you find an Eagle for $88, please let me know. I would love to buy a lot of them for $88. They're a lot more than that. So there are unscrupulous people that are using pictures that we produce to do bad things to other people. So I just wanted to point that out. But I do want to thank you for watching. I do want to thank you for being a supporter of the Quick and Mobile YouTube channel, so we can continue to do mobility reviews for you. And let's go ahead and not delay anymore. Let's take this chair outside. Let's see what it can do. Thank you so much for watching.